Hey everybody, Lane here with PreachingDonkey.com. Today I want to talk about this concept, this idea that Preaching Donkey was completely built on, and that's this. If God can speak through a donkey, He can speak through you. Now here's the reason why we called Preaching Donkey, because in Numbers 22 there's a story where there's this guy, and his name's Balaam, and he's riding a donkey. Balaam is refusing to follow God's direction, and so God actually uses the donkey to speak to Balaam. He speaks to Balaam through his ass. Because of that, he's able to communicate a message to Balaam. God literally spoke through a donkey to communicate the message that He wanted to get across. The cool thing is now God uses you and He uses me. We at Preaching Donkey, we just say if God can speak through a donkey, if He can do that, if He can accomplish His message and get His message across by a donkey speaking it, then the good news for you and me is that He can speak through you and He can speak through me. So this should mean a couple of things for us as preachers. Number one, we shouldn't take ourselves too seriously, okay? Literally, if a donkey could do it in our place, then, it's not like we can become very prideful about what we're doing because a donkey could replace us, okay? That's not a lot of job security. And the second thing is, not only should we not take ourselves too seriously, but we also should not find too much pride or despair in our preaching. There's a tendency to either find lots of pride. If you feel like you have really good abilities and skills and you can get up and just kill it, there's a tendency to think, oh man, I'm really skilled and I'm really talented. Or there's a tendency on the other side to despair. I just don't have what it takes. I'm terrible. I can't get a message across. Nobody's listening. I'm not connecting with my audience. And so pride and despair are kind of the two sides of the coin. And so if you realize that God can speak through a donkey, what it does is it says, well, I can't really take a whole lot of pride in this because it's all God. He can do whatever He wants. He can choose whatever method to speak that He wants. And I shouldn't really despair because, God's going to use me or He's going to use something else. And so I just want to be available for God to use. Preaching Donkey is all about the concept of Godfidence. And I didn't come up with this. I totally stole this word from a pastor that I saw preaching at one time. Pride and despair are the two sides of the spectrum. We want to be right in the middle with not just confidence, but Godfidence. And what that is it's this idea that God is going to speak through me. He's going to speak in me. He's going to work in my study and my preparation and my hard work and my years of experience and all the things that have brought me to this moment where I'm preaching this sermon. I'm going to step onto the stage, open my Bible, and speak to this audience with confidence that He's going to speak through me. Because if God can speak through a donkey, He can speak through me. And so everything on PreachingDonkey.com and on Twitter at PreachingDonkey and Facebook.com/PreachingDonkey and on this YouTube channel, everything circles back around to this idea that if God can speak through a donkey, He can speak through us. What does that sound like specifically? Well, specifically, most people, when they finish a sermon, they ask themselves, did I say all the words that I needed to say? Did I say everything that I had planned and prepared? Which is not the right question to ask. The better question to ask is, did they hear what they needed to hear so they can do something with it? And so if God can speak through a donkey, but He chooses to speak through us, let's be the best possible donkeys we can be. Let's be the best possible communicators of that message we can possibly be. Rather than asking, gosh, did I say what I was supposed to say? No. Did my audience get what they needed? Did they hear what they needed to hear so that they can take action and their lives can change? And so Preaching Donkey is all about helping preachers communicate better, because when we communicate better, then lives are changed, the gospel goes forth, that people light up for the first time because their spiritual eyes are open and they realize who Jesus is and what He has for them, and it's an amazing, amazing thing. Take your craft seriously. Take the art seriously. Don't take yourself too seriously. God can use a donkey, but take the craft and the art of preaching seriously, and let's master it together. That's what the channel is all about. We got lots more videos coming, but I just want to say to the preacher who says, man, I just don't have what it takes. Let me tell you, you do. To the preacher that says, I'm good to go, I don't need anything, let me tell you, yes, you do. Okay, we all need work. We all need help, and that's what this channel is all about. Check us out. Hit subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. We got more videos coming. You can also check out our book, Preaching Killer Sermons, available on Amazon, both in Preaching Back and in Kindle. And I usually say this at the end of every podcast on PreachingDonkey.com. But remember, if God can speak through a donkey, He can speak through you. We'll see you next time.